On today's episode of the Views from Section 400 podcast, it's Masters Week. We have a Masters preview. We have our winners and losers of the week. But before it all, we recap the Auburn Tigers winning the National Invitation Tournament Championship and Michigan winning a national championship. It's coming up soon. Stay tuned.
And just like that, we're back.
A16, turn me up.
Welcome into episode 257 of the Views from Section 400 podcast. Today is April 9th, 2026. And the Auburn Tigers are National Invitation Tournament champions. War Eagle, Jack.
War damn Eagle. I mean, look, one of those tournaments that we should have won, right? I mean, I watched the majority of those games. Those teams were not on our level. A lot of them gave us great fights, and that's what you want to see. Or you don't want to see blowouts. You want to see our team tested and respond and come back. And they did have to do that more than I would have liked, but it was still a great tournament, and it's worth something. I'm happy they got the hardware, and Kevin Overton got to shine, and as a result, is coming back to Auburn this year. I'm happy. Happy for the program.
He's coming back.
It's a great way to end a pretty miserable season.
That's a great way to sum it up. I mean, they beat Nevada. They're the 72nd ranked team in Ken Palm, and Tulsa in the championship was 56th. So not great competition, but they are teams that Auburn should beat, and they lost to a lot of those teams in the regular season. So it was really good to see them actually. And they're going to hang a banner, as they should. They're the first D1 Alabama school to win a national championship in basketball. And I know it's the NIT, but that's still a national championship, and that counts for something. And with the year that Auburn had with blowing the leads and losing, to blow a lead against Tulsa and then win in overtime, it means something. It meant something to win 5 in a row, get Stephen Pearl a banner in his first year, 23 wins. It means something. And obviously it's not a national, it's not even a March Madness appearance, but it's something, and it should be celebrated.
Again, it honestly is a great way to end a pretty poor season. It gives us a leg to stand on, something to work off of going into next year where we better have a tournament appearance.
Question for you. What holds more weight? A Christmas week bowl game or winning the NIT?
What do you mean by a Christmas week bowl game? Like
winning the Christmas week?
The Pinstripe Bowl in Yankee Stadium.
NIT.
No, I'd rather win the Pinstripe Bowl than the NIT.
And so because Christmas week is what, I don't want to say a New Year's Six because that's the college football playoff. But Christmas week is the borderline, hey, they didn't make college football playoff, but hey, it's still ranked teams. You're at that gray area.
I've watched Duke Syracuse battle it out at Yankee Stadium in a Pinstripe Bowl before.
Some good games.
It's not thrilling football.
Some good matchups.
I have a pretty hard stance that, if you're not in the college football playoff, these bowl games nowadays are pretty meaningless. The NIT is it's not the real tournament, but it's still a big tournament structure. You're playing a lot of different schools, a lot of different competing, and I'm gonna stick by the NIT pretty wholeheartedly.
Yeah, I think if you're saying, would I rather win? Because I'd rather win the NIT and lose the Pinstripe Bowl, but I'd rather win the Pinstripe Bowl. Well, no. I'm trying to do this in my head because I'm trying to define if it's a March Madness appearance versus a bowl loss.
Can you say you're not in so if you're not in the college football playoff, it doesn't matter. But then can you say if you're not in March Madness, it doesn't matter?
Where's
the difference there?
I'd rather lose in March Madness and win it. I'd rather win.
Work this out, Brian.
I'd rather go to March Madness and lose a Pinstripe Bowl than win the NIT and win a Pinstripe Bowl. Like, I'd rather just have a March Madness appearance and then just suck at football instead of win the NIT and win a meaningless bowl game. Like, I'd rather have one of the two than both just kind of mediocre.
Maybe they're both kind of the same. Like, oh, you won a bowl game. That didn't really matter. Oh, you won the NIT.
You know,
That
the
didn't
big
really matter.
Yeah, I mean, look, the big question that I was hearing after Auburn won the NIT was, would you rather go and win the NIT
Yeah, that was so dumb.
or go to the tournament and lose first round? And the answer is go to the tournament and lose first round. It most definitely is. You're in the actual dance. You're competing against the big dogs. I mean, that's where you want to be. You know, consolation bracket, win or lose, is still the consolation bracket. So I would equate that more to, you know, the bowl games where they don't really mean much. But if you're a fringe team making the college football playoff and lose first round, like, you know, we've seen plenty of those teams in years past, I would still rather be that than, you know, win whatever, I don't know, New Year's or, you know, Christmas Day bowl that you guys want to talk about is, you know.
So I think you're taking the New Year's Six is like you made the college football playoff. So you're taking that over the NIT. Right before that, though, is that fringe, like, you know, you'll get Iowa and Iowa State in a 13 versus 17 ranked December 28th game.
Not doing it for me.
Some people get up for those.
The big
Maybe
like, Jack,
maybe it's because I'm an Auburn fan, but, you know,
Maybe,
we have
right? Like, so say Auburn's ranked 15th in the country and they're playing Michigan.
If we're ranked
on an off
15th in the
year
country,
and they're
I'm
like 13th.
rioting and saying, you know, we should have been in the playoff some way,
That's
somehow.
not the point. That's not the point, Jack.
I'm just saying, you know, those games I don't find valuable anymore, with everybody who sits out and you know, people hitting the transfer portal before the game even starts. I don't find those games as valuable anymore.
You should have that in college basketball, right? Like the guys are staying before the transfer portal saga. Like,
well, that's the
they
big
play out the postseason, or at least they did this year. We'll see if that changes.
that was the big narrative that people tried to build around Auburn basketball. Was you saw Notre Dame sit out of the bowl game after they were snubbed from the college football playoff, and Auburn, now if they were actually snubbed, is still up for debate. But they sure as hell thought they were snubbed for March Madness, and they decided, let's go win the NIT and prove we can beat teams that at least college basketball world thinks are on the same level as us, and that's what they did. So maybe now you'll see more teams of college football do the same. At least I hope. And these things that aren't end-all, be-all for a national championship will still at least hold some weight. Because it's good for sports. It's good for college sports.
I hope so too. Absolutely. And, you know, I like Florida State as well. You know, Auburn, War Eagle, of course, but I like Florida State as well. They had an opportunity and an invitation to join the NIT this year as well. By all means, by the competition that we saw, it very well could have been an Auburn, Florida State National Invitational Tournament Championship, which I would have gotten pretty excited for. But, you know, that's a team that didn't want to show up and compete in it versus Auburn, who did. So I really don't know if that's going to be a trend or not. I think it really is a case-by-case basis. I remember hearing that Keyshawn Hall and a couple of the players were pretty vocal that they wanted to be in this tournament and play and keep going and put some more on tape, win it for the school. I don't know their motivation, but they got it done. And it was awesome to watch.
I think it was pretty clear Phil Jovich wanted to put some tape out there, not having Sean Murphy, and then now he's entering the portal, which we'll see how that goes. He did not show much in his first year, and you could blame playing time for that, but it's sad seeing how many. Like, you have kids at FGCU that average 10 points a game entering the transfer portal. And it's like, what are we doing here? That could be a whole nother episode about the problems with the portal, but I'm just happy Auburn won the NIT. I was happy to see him win.
Yeah. I mean, since we're talking about the portal, I do want to say one more thing. I heard one of the assistant Michigan coaches get interviewed like right after, you know, post game, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm so excited right now. You know, words can't describe it, but at the same time, the portal's open in 16 minutes." You can't even enjoy the championship for more than a half hour, and you got to think about the portals open. My Lord, man, the way that college basketball is transformed it's changing fast.
Especially for a team that just won the Natty, that it was built on the portal. I feel like that's what we're going to see now is these teams that win are built on the portal. I mean, the last 2 years, you had Elijah Martin and Walter Clayton, both transfers, lead Florida. And now you have Michigan with Yaxel and Elliott Cadeau and all these transfer guys leading them to the championship. It's what we're going to see from now on. And there's good and bad to it. We'll see how it goes because it's going to get very hectic very fast.
It's probably going to keep getting worse before it gets better. I don't know. I don't know how worse it has to get, but it's the days of players staying for 4 years are done. I mean, even the Siena guy, what was it? Gavin Duty or something like that, averaged like 16 and a half points. I mean, that Siena program is going to be depleted. Lost the coach. Lost their best
that's
players.
like the one time,
just,
though. Like, I think the portal is good for when your coach goes to another school and then the players that he recruited can follow him to that school. That's how the portal should work for the most part.
Yeah, like what we saw with Iowa. Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying. I like that.
Yeah, Dusty May with Vlad last year. That's how it should go, not mercenaries for hire. Looking at you, Yaxel. All right, we want to talk about the actual national championship game and the Final Four. Pretty disappointing Final Four after a great one last year. Felt like the tournament was kind of flipped from last year to this year. Like the first couple weekends last year kind of stunk. Then we got an all-time Final Four. Where this year we had some upsets in the first couple weekends. It was more fun. And the Final Four was kind of just bleh.
Yeah, upset-wise, there was a little bit more action. You didn't have all 4 1 seeds. You had a little bit of magic, like, I don't know, UNC blowing the lead and losing, Iowa knocking off Florida, that crazy game, which I know is 1-2, but UConn knocking off Duke. That wasn't there last year. You didn't have those special moments, so it was enjoyable from that perspective, where it still lacked who's like, for me, before the tournament started, I was just so like, I don't know how a team's going to beat Michigan. They went into that Arizona game as thought that line was ridiculous. I know Arizona is fantastic, but just watching college basketball, I don't know how you can't watch Michigan and be like, wow, they're just like far and away the better team. Like the eye test is the eye test for me. And like Michigan, I just like nobody compared. It wasn't even close for me. And I know it's hard for maybe everybody to see or whatever. And people like teams who they like and they get blinded by bias. But like the actual eye test, looking at Michigan, there was no better team. And to me, when it's that far away, when it's a Cavaliers LeBron team or a Miami Heat LeBron team, when it's like they're going to win this year, what's the point of playing? And maybe it wasn't that extreme, but Michigan was far and away the best team, and they blew everybody out along the way.
There's no doubt about it. I was saying it from the
St.
start.
Louis.
I was saying it from the start that I was just
in that game
so ready for that Arizona and Michigan matchup. I was clamored for it. I was so ready for it. I thought it was gonna be a great game, and Michigan just beat the brakes off of them. Whether it was the freshmen couldn't step up. I mean, Arizona really couldn't hit shots at all. But Michigan, you're right. They just looked like the best team all year. And if Arizona wasn't going to keep it close, I mean, there was no shot anybody was going to beat them. But you do have to give a lot of credit to UConn and Danny Hurley for making it all the way there yet again.
Yeah, I mean, what Dan Hurley did to that Michigan team, he held them under 70, 40% from the field, 15% from three, and they got out-rebounded. That every team that had that happen to them had lost previously in March Madness. They were 0-50, and Michigan was just good enough to overcome all of that and beat Dan Hurley and UConn. And it's the same story with UConn all year. It's just Dan Hurley is such a mastermind, such a good coach that he can get his guys open. But UConn just can't score. And Terrace Reed can only do so much. And Braden Mullins, when you're relying on a freshman to hit a bunch of shots, it's not going to work a lot of times. Solo Ball also, he's got to take, like, I guess it's the offseason now, so he can take time off. But he should have taken a lot of time off this year. He's hurt or something was wrong with him because he was just bricks all season.
Definitely inconsistent shooting from him, and Mullins was tossing up a whole lot of bricks in that championship too, on a lot of wide open shots. So yeah, no, I do think that you have to give a ton of credit to Hurley. He put his guys in the position to win, and they honestly didn't execute offensively, but defensively, same story, different team. This UConn program is dominant with Hurley at the helm.
And even for like the game was. Sorry, I'll let you go, Jack.
No, I was gonna say he's keeping your Big East alive, man.
Single-handedly.
Absolutely. It was single-handedly. I think St. John's made it interesting against Duke in the Sweet 16.
Yeah, Pitino, the last couple of years, Pitino's been there, but like he just can't. Maybe the tournament has passed him by in terms of winning games in the tournament.
Yeah, he's obviously not getting any younger. I mean, I don't know. I know these guys want to have big egos, and when they're really old, say, I'm not going anywhere anytime soon. But, you know, the gas could run out quick with Pitino.
Yeah, St. John's will still hang around. They got to find a great scorer. The last 2 years, they just haven't had that. I guess the Big East just hasn't really had that in general.
That's what I was gonna say. Is they have talent there, and they play tough. They play as tough as a Dan Hurley's UConn team, but they don't have that score. They haven't had it. Defense is what I guess the Big East's brand is right now, but you need some scorers over there. Take some from the Big 12.
Yeah, I mean it's always been known for like the tough, rough ball rebound type league. I mean, you look at Villanova. Caden Lewis just declared for the draft, and he was their all-star freshman. I think 14 points a game or whatnot. So tough to see him go. But I mean, you could point at him for the ability to score, and he probably only would have been that much better if he stayed another year. He would have been a guy who maybe you'd see stretch for 16 a night. But
he could still stay.
He could. They do retain the eligibility, but then it goes into then it just turns into a bidding war. I know Villanova is very proud of their basketball, a lot of money in the booster club, so they won't be anybody to scoff at in terms of are they going to be able to attract? You can attract anybody with money. It doesn't matter where the hell you are. So, and I know Villanova is well positioned from that point of view, but every player is going to at least test the market, and then that's what they should. You kind of only have one shot to do it. If it's available, you're going to do it. But I don't know. To wrap it all up, the Big East was able to somehow, some way keep it keep themselves relevant, so to speak.
Yeah, big reason for that, Alex Karaban. I feel like we have to shout him out just quickly because he's going to be one of those guys in 10 years that we think of as just college winners. Maybe he's probably not going to have much of an NBA career. Maybe he goes over to the NBL. Just had an all-time NBL final, by the way. Deladova got a ring with Sidney King, shut down Bryce Cotton in Game 5 to win that title. But Karaban, 4 years, 3 Final Fours, 2 titles, 1,880 points, 151 games played, both most in UConn history, most threes in UConn history, most minutes played in UConn history. I think he got his number retired this year. It's an all-time college basketball player, Alex Karaban.
Shout out.
Probably one of the last guys we'll ever see that digs it out for 4 years, right?
Yeah. I mean, even Terrace Reed, who led UConn in basically every category in this tournament, 20 and 13. He played 4 years of college basketball, 2 years for UConn, 2 years for Michigan, 3 titles in 4 years in that span. He didn't get one. It's kind of the state of college basketball.
Yeah, it's so sad.
Is what it is, but I don't know. Michigan's not going to go anywhere. I think whoever they can retain, they'll retain. I mean, they had one of the top lineup. I mean, they were paying what, $10 million this year? They paid. I mean, they were one of the top NIL rosters. So their pockets run deep. Dusty May's a good coach with or without the money, I think. I mean, we saw it with FAU. So they're not going anywhere anytime soon.
May is 12 and 13 in the tournament now. It's an .800 winning percentage. He's 8-1 with Michigan one loss to that Auburn team that was the number 1 overall seed last year. So we'll have that to hang over Dusty May's head at least, Jack.
That was a great game too, and they were definitely competitive. We were the better team last year, but they were definitely a competitive team.
Yeah, in 2 years, he's won a Big Ten tournament, a Big Ten regular season, and of course, a national championship now with Michigan. So I don't think he's going anywhere. And he's probably going to give Dan Hurley a run for his money for that title of best coach in college basketball.
I agree. But right now, it's still, even though Hurley lost, still Dan.
Yeah, I got to give it to Dan for right now, just with the disparity in talent on these two teams. You know, the fact that was that close of a game when a lot of other games that Michigan played this tournament were just complete blowouts. Got to give Hurley a lot of credit.
And to be fair, Michigan had control of that entire game. The highlight of the game was the story of the backdoor cover is what that is. They covered late at the end, but I mean, I think Michigan pretty much had complete control of that game from the initial tip to the final whistle.
You had the tinfoil hats out largely after, I think it was Cadeau chucked the rebound down the court to waste the rest of the clock. And everyone was like, Vegas called. If he gets fouled there, they probably cover. But no, that's just a good basketball play. And he won the national championship by wasting the clock.
I did not see people upset about that, but I'm glad I didn't, because you're right.
I just saw people just being like, oh, like last second backdoor cover. And I think everybody was on Michigan or on UConn. I think most of the public money was on UConn. So if anything, Vegas kind of got hosed, which I'm sure they made out just fine for the entirety of the tournament.
I'm sure they did.
Yeah, they always make out.
As they always do.
Yeah. So they gave a little bit back in the Natty.
Yeah, I think this year it's definitely – I know Michigan was the dominant team, but I have hope for March Madnesses in the future. Everyone was doom and gloom about the chalk madness last year. You kind of saw there's paths for maybe not mid-majors, but lower high majors to make waves. And at least we saw some more fun.
We saw some more fun, but it was also still chalk.
Ultimately chalk at the end. But that's normally how – I mean, one seeds do win more often than not.
That's true.
I mean, for us to have only 2, after having 4 last year, I think you got to be pretty happy about that.
No, for sure. There was fun moments, fun games. No crazy Cinderella run, like Texas to the Sweet 16 and playing somewhat tight down the stretch to Purdue was like the closest. But Texas in the Big 12, like that's like.
I would say Iowa and Nebraska, their runs were pretty. I wouldn't, I would say unexpected.
Iowa for sure. Iowa knocking off, and you have Bennett Sturts, and it's like the Drake coach. I think, Brian, you said most of those guys are from mid-majors, and they just spawned at Iowa. So, It was a mid-major in disguise.
The guy that hit the game winner against Florida was Robert Morris.
Right.
So it is
and
a
the
mid-major.
Coach was from Drake. It was a mid-major in disguise.
Yeah, I think we might see a little more of that. At least I hope. I think it'll be fun. I'm confident we'll get some March moments continued. It's not just going to be terrible chalk. It's not going to turn to the women's tournament. But shout out UCLA. They kicked the shit out of Dawn Staley's team.
I guess that was nice to see UCLA. It seemed like it was UConn or South Carolina, and no one else had a chance. So,
as it does every year.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, Hami Hawkins, his sister, had a big – I think she almost dropped a triple-double against South Carolina in that final. It's pretty cool.
And then mix in,
is he still playing in Miami?
Yeah. He was in attendance at that game too. I had no idea she was on the roster, but shout out UCLA.
Shout out.
Mix in Gino and Dawn Staley, some Tempers flair.
Dude,
I don't think we've seen that. We haven't seen that, I don't think, ever. Maybe we have, but to that extent, I mean, that was a pretty big blow up.
Yeah, Gino has always gone off in the media to about scheduling and viewership and main big picture women's basketball stuff, but I'd never seen him go off on another coach. It's getting like real bad on the sideline.
I don't even know what it was about.
He was just mad at the refereeing, and then I guess the way Staley was foul baiting. I don't know, but it was getting ugly.
I saw like Dawn's part, and she was just like, I don't know what happened, but like if he wants to talk about it, he could talk about it. I'm not backing down kind of stance. But I don't think we had really any substance, unless you heard something, Brian. But I didn't really see much, and they never really released the full details unless something's caught on a hot mic, which was she's going to beat his ass is what we got on the hot mic.
Yeah, he was really mad about the officiating, and Staley was standing up for her team, and I think they just started beefing.
Yeah, and look, we see that all the time. Tempers flare. I mean, how many times do you see a rough handshake in the NFL between head coaches at the end of a game, and things boil over a little bit? This is nothing new.
I mean, maybe Gino and Hurley just had a phone call the night before, and Hurley was like, "You got to be a little more animated on the sideline." Gino just took it a little too far.
I have anything to say to that? I didn't understand what was happening with Dawn and Gino. I didn't understand why he was so upset and why he was yelling, but it did make for a good clip.
Yeah, and I always like seeing UConn lose, especially on the women's side, because they've just been they're like the Duke of women's basketball. They're just always there.
Yeah.
And I guess South Carolina's kind of becoming the same way, but I don't know. It was cool to see the Gamecocks get one.
South Carolina is almost like the Yukon.
Yeah, it's a good call. All right, want to do some winners and losers?
Yeah, that was good. Did you talk about the most dominant March Madness run? I just wanted to give a shout out to the 2018 Nova team, but that was my angle.
Yeah, I mean, that was pretty dominant of a run. I guess when you look back at it, that 2024 UConn team?
Yeah, I was going to say, it really wasn't that long ago when we had an absolute dominant team, and that was
they beat Purdue and Arizona, and that was when that was Purdue's best shot.
Yeah, that was Edie.
And
that was also Klingon and Castle and whoever else they had over there. I know there was a deep team.
Spencer. We just never can figure out which one.
I think it was Cam. I'm 90% sure it was Cam.
Might have been Pat, man.
I think it was Pat. No, I don't know.
But either way, we have seen some runs like that. The reason why Nova's is so special is because it was all the guys who were there for so long. I guess UConn, those guys were there. Was Castle a 4-year guy at UConn? And then went to the Spurs?
Too. Oh. Because I want to say he was on both, but he could have been a freshman.
He was in college for 4 full years.
They had, and I hate that I can't remember the other guard, but they had 2 guards there, Castle and someone else. No, it was another guy that played like Castle. I got to look it up now.
It wouldn't have been Lonzo Ball, or not Lonzo. Solo Ball.
No, it was Cam Spencer. Tristan Newton. That was the 4-year guard.
That name kind of rings a bell.
Wasn't there another?
Castle was a freshman.
Wasn't there another guard?
They had Diarra.
Naismith.
So the starting 5 was Newton, Cam Spencer, Caravan, Klingon, and Castle.
Where did Naismith play? Was he a Gonzaga kid?
Nemhard.
Nemhard. That's who I'm thinking of.
Yeah, Gonzaga.
Gonzaga. Okay. Naismith. Isn't that like the award?
That's the award. I think there was a Naismith on Kansas. Maybe. But Naismith is the award. All right, winners and losers of the week. I think we skipped the LeMike, but we'll debut that on Tuesday's show.
Still waiting for its debut.
Yeah, we'll start with you, Jack. Your winner of the week.
Trayvon Walker got paid, and I'm happy for him. I mean, Jags fans are the winners too. Jaguars organization. I'm glad that this did not turn into a whole Myles Garrett, TJ Watt, Trey Hendrickson. The list goes on of these top tier edge pass rusher kind of guys that can ask for more money and more money and extend contracts and not come to the offseason workouts and all that kind of stuff. I'm so happy that we got him locked up. And, some people are saying an overpayment, but that's just because they don't understand how good he is.
Best D line in football.
Hey, best run defense in football. So he's the one setting the edge on one side. So definitely an important piece of our defense.
Yeah, and you still got the other side locked up for a while too, right?
Yeah, Josh Hines Allen for sure.
It's exciting times.
Yeah, we got to get some interior pressure, but there's some other guys that seem to be on the market.
We'll see the
You don't
trade.
want to go there, do you?
There is some other guys in the market.
Be juicy.
I'm already seeing him in Eagles AI jerseys, and I don't even.
You see every top free agent in Eagles jerseys.
It's so weird. I don't know why.
way.
For as hated as the Eagles are, they are linked to every top free agent. It could be Patrick Mahomes could be a free agent, and somehow the Eagles would be linked.
Wasn't Myles Garrett a lock like 2 months ago?
Dude, every single one. Max Crosby. Yeah, I mean it's every. I mean I understand. When you're on this generational Howie Roseman run,
Philly sports media is out of hand.
Jack, how would you?
That happen.
We just posted this clip about Brian Thomas trade talks. How would you feel about Brian Thomas for Big Sexy? Straight up.
Straight up,
You do it.
depends on what we're gonna have to pay him and what the cap's gonna look like. But straight up, honestly, yeah, I would.
You would do it and then try and get there's wide receiver talent in this draft.
It's much easier to find a wide receiver like Brian Thomas who can, go deep, take the top off the defense. That's really all we need from him at this point in our offense is a deep vertical threat. So much easier to replace that than find a guy like Dexter Lawrence, who is just, he's a force of nature. He's one of the best D tackles in football and has been for a while.
Travis Hunter coming back next year. Parker Washington emerging as an elite threat.
Elite.
BTJ's getting left in the dust, man.
I think that trade makes a lot of sense for both sides. I mean, if Dexter really doesn't want to be with the Giants, reunite Brian Thomas with Malik Neighbors.
I would be open to that, but the problem is what I was seeing is Brian Thomas and like a first round pick next year for it, and I'm like, no, like that's just not realistic.
I mean, Gladstone's very trigger happy with the first round picks, but I don't know. If I'm a Giant fan, I think I'd rather roll the dice on an Ohio State wide receiver at pick number 5 than taking up. Is that sloppy seconds, dude? I mean, the Ohio State hit rate at wide receiver, especially in the first round, especially in the top 10, might be perfect.
Yeah, well, there are two things. I mean, Dexter clearly doesn't want to be with the Giants, so I think it's more just like what you can get and what fits the best. And then also, if you could, and the Titans are probably going to draft Jeremiah Love, but if you could get an offense with Malik Neighbors, Jeremiah Love, and Brian Thomas Jr., that's very, very enticing.
It is. And I was
have
saying
an
still
offensive line good enough to support that yet?
No.
They got 2 good tackles to move Patrick Ricard and Scatterbo to guard. There you go.
They forgot. You have like Scatterbo and the Giant front office and probably even a little bit of the owner too. Like they fall in love with guys who are like okay fan favorites and they hold on to them a little too long.
So is this you saying that you want the Giants to draft Jeremiah Love?
If they get Brian Thomas Jr.
I think Brian realizes Scatterbo is a fun player. He's a nice player, but he's not the running back of the future that they need going forward.
I think if Brian Thomas Jr. doesn't exist, my tier rankings would be Carnell Tate, Sonny Styles, Jeremiah Love. If they get Brian Thomas Jr., it's Jeremiah Love, Sonny Styles, Carnell Tate.
Okay. I understand. So fair enough.
Wando Robinson went elsewhere. Yeah, he got paid.
Yeah, he went over to Dable again with Tennessee.
That's right. He got paid, dude. I mean, he had a nice year for the Giants last year, but I mean,
he's been catching a lot of passes over there.
He's he's a solid slot receiver at best.
Yeah,
And,
that's exactly what he is.
Don't want to sell the guy short, but I don't know how much more he offers.
That's exactly what he is. But he has been very productive for a very poor offense over the past few
Especially
years.
on his contract year. He did what he had to do. So probably helped that Malik Neighbors got hurt during his contract year, but
Oh, for sure. He's the only target there.
Coincidences can go in your favor and they can hurt you. So he lucked out with that one.
I mean, he was essentially the run game once Scatterbo got hurt. They couldn't run the ball, so they're just like, we'll give it to Wandale 3 yards from the line, let him go get some yak. Hopefully not get concussed.
Yeah, and even him getting paid with the Titans, I think they still might lead the league or top 3 in cap space. So
Interesting to see what they'll do. Just they could still. They might go Jeremiah Love. I don't know, but we got time to talk about the draft. Let's go to your winner, Matt.
Yeah, I'm actually going to go a little bit of a different one. I know it's controversial, but very conspiracy based. But it's going to be, I guess, the human race for getting back to the moon, making a trip around it. NASA and Artemis 2 have completed their lunar flyby and are on their way back to Earth. Some of those pictures are absolutely stunning. I've become more fascinated with space and the universe this past week alone. I used to not even care, but the late nights of just researching space has definitely been a massive uptick after seeing what they've been able to accomplish. And I know you'll have the crowd saying it's AI, saying it's fake. If it's fake, you got me, because that shit is electric, man. And really, just when you think of what space is on the scale and how vast it is, it's unbelievable to think about. So I give a nod and a shout. Winner of the week is going to be NASA, the flight crew, Artemis 2, and just some unbelievable stuff. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but unbelievable.
Yeah, the watching flat earthers crash out over all this is pretty funny. Like, I know that picture of Earth with the sun in the background for the exposure for all the stars you could finally see in space. That one was really cool for me. At least I probably stared at that thing for like an hour.
Yeah.
But all the flat earthers like, where are the satellites? Why can't we see stars now? And it's like, all right, well, you go on a plane and look down and try to see anybody in a car or anybody standing on a sidewalk. That's where the satellites are, people. And it's just like very simple, like, oh, and just watching everybody crash out is probably my favorite part of this whole mission.
I mean, Jack, where do you stand here, man? Are you a flat earther? Are you? It's all a projector. It's all fake AI.
Look,
AI.
I'm still not totally convinced that we actually touched down in '69. So, I'm gonna pump the brakes on that one. I am, however, a round earther. I do believe in a globe that the Earth is centripetal
That's good
force
to hear.
and all that. So
That's a big step.
No tinfoil that hat there. But no, I mean, I'm not really that interested in it, quite honestly. Maybe that's just a me thing, but no, I mean it's cool. Everyone's got their thing. I like videos on other things, but yeah, that sounds
Fair.
weird. That's like for example, history.
What side
Or
of
like
the internet are you on?
The Roman
Yeah.
Empire, or Tavon Austin highlights. But yeah, no, the space and the moon, it's cool stuff.
Yeah, I think I'm more excited about where this is headed and the fact they're preparing to attempt to put people on the moon and build a landing pad and water
Yeah.
tanks and everything to get to Mars. And that's hopefully going to be in our lifetime, maybe not, but that's what's really cool about it.
The Artemis 3 launch, they don't have a date. They said it's not going to be before September of 2028. So if they're launching, you figure now, beginning of April, if not before September 2028, maybe you can pinpoint around end of March, early April 2029. So maybe 3 years we see the Artemis 3 launch, and that is supposed to be touchdown on Earth. So
That's already hyped for the next one. Let's.
dude, I mean,
go,
how can you not be, man?
It's like the World Cup now. Every few years, let's get it.
Yeah. Like how could you not be, man? When you like look at some of these pictures of the planets and then like start to grasp just how huge and vast and massive space in the universe is. I mean, I can get there with you, Jack. I think, how the hell did we touch down on the Earth in the 60s? I think there could be some cause for concern. There could be question marks with that. I can get there. But the flat Earth theory. I mean, I don't know how. Even when you go up in an airplane, like you can see the curvature of the Earth and stuff. So I don't know. I don't know how people are. I don't know. I can't get there with the flat Earth.
No. I can't either. I mean, you look at like legit every other body in the solar system, and I'm not gonna sit here and act like I know space. I just told you I don't know space, but the majority of them are round. I know the moon and the sun look round.
They're
right?
all round.
Why wouldn't everything else be round? Right? Why is Earth any different?
Everything is round. This table that we have our computers on is round. Just can't see it round.
All right, now you're getting all physics.
I mean, everything is round. That's how it works.
Doing all that.
We're just a bunch of small spheres.
Give me your winner of the week.
I don't need to get into that.
All right, my winner of the week is the NBA. The season starts next week, fellas. We finally made it. We'll have the play-in tournament on April 14th. And Matt, your 76ers might be the first game of the season.
Look, we'll see what happens in the play-in. I know that's what you're hinting at, but look, if they can get in and get hot at the right time, Paul George has looked really good over the last couple of weeks. They've still, even with a full cast, struggled to beat some of the better teams. So we'll see, man. I don't. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll do a full NBA preview, I guess, next week. Some of the teams fighting in the play-in, it looks like it'll be the Suns, Clippers, Blazers, and the Warriors are under 500. But I guess Steph's been out.
Steph's been very injured this year.
So they're the 10. I think they're safely in, though. So they will be in the play-in. And then on the East, you have the Sixers, Magic, Hornets, and the Heat. Hornets have been a fun story this year. And the Sixers could still get out of the play-in. I think they're a game and a half behind the Raptors.
I think they're one of the more likely teams to not have to be like. I think they're floating around securing the 6th spot. I thought.
Yeah, they're right behind the Raptors with 4 games left. I think.
Are they not? I thought they were like in the 6th spot.
No, the Raptors have inched ahead, a game and a half up.
What are they in? Where are the Sixers now? 7.
7. They're tied with the Magic. I guess they have the tiebreaker over the Magic.
But the 7 is the most favorable spot for the play-in, right?
You'll get 2 home games.
And you can lose your first game and still have a shot. Whereas in the 9-10 game, you can't lose a game.
Maybe.
Yeah, so it'll be 7-8 will play, and then 9-10 will play. The winner of 7-8 is auto in for the 7 seed. Then the winner of 9-10 plays the loser of the 7-8 game for the last spot.
Yes.
So the 7-8 gets guaranteed 2 shots at making it in.
And you would have them both at home if you lost that first one.
Correct. The 7 seed would get the 2 at home.
Yeah,
but
so you're looking good either way.
That's what I'm saying. If they bottle that, they don't deserve to be in.
The issue there is you'll probably have to play the Celtics again, and Jason Tatum is basically healthy Jason Tatum at this point.
Yeah, they've looked electric. I said it back in October. They were plus 6,600 to win the finals. I was like, if Tatum comes back, that is fantastic value.
Yeah, I think right now they're the 3rd highest odds behind the Thunder, who of course are the 1 seed, best record in basketball, and the Spurs, Victor Wembanyama is quietly dropping like 30 and 15 every game.
Is he coming back?
it
Like,
quiet?
what's the status of his injury?
He's had like they're doing like a load management thing. It's an ankle, but he's
I
been
heard he got
playing.
injured the other night.
Yeah,
Against the
it was like they've been monitoring his ankle, and then he went out with the injury, and I think he's out for their next game.
But he's not like it's not like he's out for the year.
Yeah,
No.
it's not serious. He'll play in the playoffs.
Makes sense. Have a small future with the Spurs. Need them to be red hot in the playoffs.
They certainly have a chance.
First leg cast with Michigan.
What's the whole bet there?
Michigan already cashed. We need the Spurs, and then we need the Tampa Bay Lightning, who are looking really strong. I mean, they're probably going to be the 1 or 2 seed in the East. So
Don't have the Panthers to knock them out this year.
Nope, they do not. The two best teams in the East are either going to be the Lightning or the Hurricanes are going to be the ones fighting to represent the Eastern Conference.
Shout out Carolina.
They need a shout out too. They just hired Mike Malone. That state's in shambles.
I like Malone.
That's
All
another interesting story with you got Mike Malone and then Bill Belichick running the two top athletics over there.
I don't know what their AD is thinking, but
that's a great pick and roll right there.
Yeah. At least Mike Malone's like in his early 50s, so probably Bill Belichick, that guy seems like he's losing it a little bit.
a little bit, a lot of bit.
Mike Malone probably still a little bit more competent in the head, but we'll see. We'll see how that plays out.
I don't think he's coached in college basketball since like 2000. He's an assistant at Providence.
Yeah, over 500 wins in the NBA, won the NBA title in 2023 or whenever it was. So I think there's room to be optimistic.
Did he win the NBA title, or is it like a Ty Lue LeBron situation?
They won it with the Nuggets.
Come on.
Yeah, but he had Jokic, so it could be like
Jokic and Jamal Murray.
I guess I'll give it to him.
The other
It's the
cast of
Western
characters, like
Conference. He had
Christian Braun was like a rookie, right?
It's probably his best season in the NBA.
It was.
I think he's only gotten better, but
Who else did they have? They had some fun guys on that team.
yeah, that was a pretty good Michael Porter Jr.
Oh yeah, when he was good, he has like every other season he's either ass or he's good.
Every other game he's after good.
Yeah, well, he was able to put together some good games, and maybe that put him over the edge.
Aaron Gordon.
Was he there yet?
Yeah.
It was
Huge
2023.
huge piece of that team.
I don't know. I'm assuming. Yeah, he's been there for a little bit now.
He was a huge piece of that team. Yeah.
Because where did he come from? Magic? Yeah, he had to have been there already.
Did he hit that game-winning shot, or was that when they didn't win the title? He had like a crazy shot against the Thunder. No, that was when the Thunder won. Oh, Bruce Brown was on that team. KCP.
Oh, gosh.
Bones Highland. Jeff Green, when Jeff Green was still decent. Ish Smith. Ish Smith has a ring. Wow. Good for Ish Smith.
Probably a lot more guys than you realize, Brian, that have NBA rings.
Yeah. True. All right. Jack, your loser of the week.
Yeah, unfortunately, we kind of spoiled it earlier. It was going to be Terrace Reed because but
I'm sorry.
and then I had a pivot too, but we talked about him as well. It was going to be Giants fans because of Sexy Dexy, but we're kind of in the doghouse here. So it's going to be me because I want to go eat my food.
You seem like you
still could have used one of the two that you mentioned.
We pretty much talked about that.
Oh, you're going Terrace because he bounced around all these teams and then they kept winning championships while he wasn't there.
He didn't even really bounce around. Like, I can't really blame him for what he did. He spent 2 years at Michigan and in those 2 years, UConn won the championship. And then he said, you know what? I want to go to UConn. They keep winning all these dang championships. Let me go play there. And then this year, Michigan wins it. So, I feel bad for him, especially because he was probably the best player on the floor for UConn in this tournament. And maybe all season. I didn't watch UConn all season, but in my opinion, watching UConn this tournament, I think he was the best player.
Him and Caravan really carried that team all year.
Well, even when Caravan couldn't shoot, Reed was doing his work
I think,
underneath, down low, good footwork.
They would have lost to Furman if Reed didn't put up 30 and 27.
yeah, I think Terrace carried them that entire tournament.
Yeah.
Oh, for the tournament.
If they didn't have him, they were not. They were, like you said, they might not even made it out of the first round.
They probably don't. 30 and 27, and they only beat Furman by like 11.
Yeah.
Shout out to SoCon.
So he was by far their tournament MVP.
Yeah,
He'll get
tough couple
drafted,
of
right?
losses, too. Yeah, he's old. He'll be second round pick.
He might be like just one of those like great college player, but he's going to be that like tweener guy where like he's too big to play the 3, but too small to play the 4.
Kind of the same profile as Janai Broom. Just
yeah. And then he's like way too small to play the 5. I mean, I don't know how tall is he?
6'11".
Yeah, like
he doesn't really shoot threes either. He doesn't really shoot jump shots.
He doesn't. You need. The NBA has progressed so much to where like you need some sort of outside game, even if you're a big man. Like you need to have some sort, and like he's just all kind of down low. And I don't like he's okay with the post moves, but I think
he can go be a FIBA legend.
EuroLeague, sure. It'd be fantastic in the EuroLeague.
So he made 1 3-point shot in 4 years of college basketball.
How tall is he? Do you have that?
He is 6'11".
Yeah, that's.
I mean, how many did he attempt?
7.
Yeah. All right.
Hey,
at least
really have
he's
a
smart
jump shot.
He's a smart player. He knows his game.
He went
And
1 for 3 his sophomore year at Michigan, 0 for 4 this year at UConn.
All the dominant bigs in the NBA now are 7 feet plus.
Yeah. I mean, the big thing with Broom his senior year, he tried to shoot the 3 more so he could get to the NBA. And now he's just in the G League. So I don't know. But Reed should, I'm sure someone will take him like 55th
He'll get a
overall.
shot. He'll get a shot. And
That's a strong dude.
Yeah. He'll get a shot, and look, you never know. Work hard and carve out a path. Paul Reed did it. He got a small contract with the Pistons, got some millions. He was a second round pick and 6'10", 6'11", like power forward tweener spot. So
You just got to be a dog.
Ooh,
he's gonna have to develop an offensive game.
Imagine Reed balling out in Baskonia with Marcus Howard. They might win the EuroLeague.
That something there could happen, yeah. But
2 Big East legends.
yeah,
I'd love to see it. All right, Matt, your loser of the week.
Yeah. So I don't know if it's still speculation. It's tough to defend this one, but
I know where you're going here.
Mike Vrabel getting caught out in Arizona with NFL reporter Diana Russini. I mean, she's a rocket. I understand. But they're hugging, they're holding hands, they're sitting on the beach chairs.
Oh, boy, I didn't see this one.
Oh, yeah. Mike Vrabel's in like a bathing suit, shirtless. She's in a bikini. They're sitting next to each other. They're holding hands. Vrabel's married. She's married. Tough to defend that one. I don't think are they just friends? Is it platonic? Can I call him the loser of the week without the full story? But I mean, this one doesn't look good.
Yeah, the first thing I thought of when I saw this was her husband is a big Philly guy, big Eagles fan. And we've seen a lot of Rossini this offseason talking about A.J. Brown possibly going to the Patriots. And it's like,
oh, yeah, that's Big Dom going in there taking some pictures.
Yeah, it's not good. I think they both said they were there with friends and they just met up on the rooftop and interlocked hands. And sat next to each
Oh.
other by the pool.
If there was people
Yeah,
around,
right, bro.
if
You
there
think
was-
your kids believe that?
if there was people around, bro, the picture of them sitting in the lounge chairs together, there's nobody around.
Yeah.
And they're clearly together. And she's in a bikini, he's shirt off in a bathing suit. That's a tough one to defend.
Oh
That's a really tough one to defend.
I mean, it'd even be one thing if it was just a picture of like them sitting next to each other, but they're also like interlocked hands
Interlocking
standing.
hands, standing, then they're hugging.
Yeah.
It's a tough one to defend. Super, super tough to defend.
Not a good look.
I don't know how you defend. I mean, is she still with ESPN?
I think she's with the Athletic now.
Yeah, I thought she maybe. I mean, she might have to, start just hosting a podcast and doing independent stuff. I don't know. I don't know what I mean.
Definitely
not helping.
with Tom Brenneman.
Well, definitely not helping the go woman in sports crowd. Not helping that narrative.
No, it's not good, and I don't want to speculate too much, but it does not look good for either of them. And they both have kids, and they've been married for a while. And Vrabel has preached about family and culture, and
I don't think we've had statements. I don't know that you're going to get a statement because Vrabel. I mean, we're right into the offseason. Vrabel, I think, can hide behind closed doors. I don't know. What is he going to have a media session for the draft?
Vrabel can definitely take his time more than Rossini can. I mean, her job is to post things and be in the headlines.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. Vrabel could. Yeah, I mean, it's not like he has a game this week and he has a press conference tomorrow and he's going to get peppered.
Yeah, this
it's
is
not
no
like
week 6 Urban Meyer.
Right, where you can just immediately get peppered by the media about in light of recent events. So he's going to be able to hide behind this one for a little bit. She could also, I mean, like she has a good career. I mean, I'm sure, the money's fine. She doesn't necessarily need to throw herself out back in the spotlight yet. So I would say she could, are they just going to hide behind closed doors and wait for the dust to settle?
Yeah, I don't know what you really do there.
Who cares, honestly? Like,
I mean,
I mean,
for the AJ Brown trade, I don't think.
That's where my brain's going.
No, but that's exactly what I mean. Do you think that this has like any real implications on what happens to our NFL football season?
I think before it got exposed, it might have. There might have been some AJ Brown fuckery going on.
Some backdoor
among other
dealings.
fuckery.
Ooh, Brian, let's keep this PG.
Sorry.
Either way, Vrabel. Even if there's nothing going on, it's completely platonic. It's been exposed to the internet. People are going to think what they want to think. Whether you're in the right, it's going to be tough to clean that up, and I'll leave it at that.
Yeah. I hope it's not as bad as it looks for the sake of their families.
Even if
I don't know.
Dude.
Oh yeah.
Even if how do you
families,
even if I'm Deanna Rossini's husband and she's trying to explain this to me, I don't know how I ever, even if she wasn't doing anything, I don't know how I ever believe her. How, like, unless you're so stupid and you're just like, I love my wife, she would never do this, I forgive you. I could never get there if I was the husband. I never. I don't, even if I was like, okay, we'll try, it would eat at me.
Maybe we get lucky and an audio file gets leaked.
I think that's what you need. You need some clarity.
We need some clarity.
Yeah.
Yeah, this might just be they both get divorced and they can get married and be together in an all-world change of events. But either way, don't want to spend much more time on that. But that's
some Coldplay,
some drama.
CEO
some
shit.
drama. Yeah, pretty much. But some drama unfolding off the field in the NFL.
Imagine if we get an audio and there's Coldplay playing in the background. That might set the internet on fire.
Yeah.
I mean, this is what happens, though. I mean, it starts with leadership. You know, this kind of stuff never happened with Belichick, and now Vrabel's in charge. You got this happening. You got Stephon Diggs doing whatever on boats and strippers and all that crazy stuff.
And a franchise that's just been known for scandals. Yeah. A scandalous franchise. And I mean, how stupid, like, I guess they're like, he can't see, like, he's like, oh, I'm going to the owner's weekend. She's like, oh, I'm going to report on the NFL during over. Like, that's really the only time they could be alone together in the same city without raising questions. But again, I mean, two pretty high profile people. Whoever sniped these pictures, I mean, unbelievable.
Had to be Big Dom.
Hats off.
I mean, but because I was going to say, like, don't, like, go do it somewhere else. But then it's like, how do you get away from your families without raising suspicion? What are you going to be like? I'm going on vacation by myself. Like, you just, the thought, like, they planned it out. I don't know, man. There's no explaining that. You can't explain it.
It's bad. It's bad. It looks terrible.
It looks horrible. There's no explaining it. Why are you two alone at a pool at a luxury hotel? What are you interviewing him with his shirt off and you're in a bikini? Come on.
I mean, the one thing they have going for them is it was the coaches meeting in Arizona. So they were both there for that.
Right, Brian.
But they were alone on a rooftop, and it's bad. It's bad.
I would never be able to find a silver lining, and I'll leave it at that.
Brian, your hat. What's your loser of the week?
Yeah, it's not this hat. Another hat I'll pull out in a couple minutes. But I went to the Masters and had a great time. It was a beautiful course. Walked the whole thing. Walked like 30,000 steps. Saw Rory make a birdie on 9 during the practice round. But I got back yesterday, and I've been on social media today. And, of course, there's all the influencers posting their Masters hauls and people reposting, like, merch that they're going to upsell for hundreds of dollars. I bought a hat. I bought this hat and another hat at the Masters. And I'll put on the second hat on second. But I really like pimento cheese. And I really like the fact pimento cheese only costs $1.50 on a sandwich at the Masters. So they were selling a hat that just said pimento on it. It's an orange hat. I thought it was funny. Thought it'd be a funny bit. I didn't realize how many golf fans on Twitter were so upset, like furious at the fact the Masters was selling these kind of hats. Like there's one that says pimento, one that says now driving, one that said azalea. There were a bunch of cool hats. At least I thought they were cool. But golf fans are really mad. So I'm going to put this hat on. I'll let you guys be the judge. And if you're not watching on YouTube, go check us out on YouTube right now. And tell me if this hat looks corny or if it looks like it's ruining golf, ruining the allure of the Masters. Give me 1 second.
What could they possibly be mad about?
Yeah, for real, it's a hat. It's like a Wisconsin, like Green Bay Packers cheese head.
It's a hat that says pimento, and it has a Masters logo on the side. I thought the color was funny. Thought it was a fun hat.
So here's my question: What were they mad about?
Yeah, what are they mad about? I mean, I'm not trying to knock your shine here. I'm not a huge fan of the hat just because it's a little ugly, but I got no beef with it.
I don't hate it.
They're mad that the Masters doesn't just sell merch that says Masters on it or has the logo on it, and it's not traditional enough. And I thought the hat was funny.
Offered in there?
So what? These are like the old heads that like want it to be just like, cookie cutter nostalgia.
Yeah, they're saying influencers are ruining golf and like the new look, the new wave of what hats people want to buy aren't fit for the Masters. I thought the hat was funny. I like pimento cheese sandwiches. I like to remember that I ate like 10 of them when I was at the Masters. So I got a pimento hat.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's funny. It's a very bright orange. My eyes hurt right now, but
Yeah, I'm probably only gonna ever wear it when I go golfing. Just
yeah,
as like
I
at
don't
the event. I'm
understand.
not
The
gonna wear it out.
people hate just to hate, Brian. Don't let them get you down.
And
Yeah,
when's
I'm not
that?
going to.
Once a year, you're out on the golf course, if that.
I've gone 2 times in the past 2 weeks.
There you
Yeah,
go. Open season.
One was at the Masters.
Well, not at the I played at a golf course near the Masters. But yeah, we
Love to
went
see your
because it
golf
was a
game.
Masters trip.
I'd love to see your golf game.
I broke 100.
I don't believe that.
Yeah, shot 95.
I will believe that when I see that.
All right.
My golf game is trash.
And I'm
Thanks
gonna
for
say mine's spectacular. Brian, you did not strike me as someone who's just going out there. Breaking 100 is a lot harder than saying it.
Oh, it's hard. I got saved because I parred like 3 holes and I shot 8s on like 5. A lot of lucky shots. But I can hit the ball in the air enough to where I can get lucky sometimes. Like I'm not just topping every shot. And
I'm looking forward to you proving me wrong.
next time I'll go, I'll send you a picture or a video of my drive.
Why can't we play?
I mean, we could play, but I don't know where we're gonna play and when.
Come down to Charleston.
DC, I'll come down, me, you, Tom, and we'll grab one more.
All right, I'm in.
Done deal. Brian shaking his boots.
I mean, you're gonna
At
beat me, I know
95.
that, but I think you'll be surprised that I'm not terrible.
I mean, my golf game is not. I'm no Tiger Woods here.
Either way, stop hating on fun hats.
I
People.
think I'm hating on your golf game more than I am that.
No, I'm talking about the people hating on my hat. I know you're hating on my golf game.
I like
right.
the hat for what it's worth.
Thank you. Speaking of golf, let's give out some Masters picks. We got the Masters this weekend. We'll recap the Masters on Tuesday's show, but let's give out some picks here.
Scotty Scheffler, the GOAT,
Wow, he dug
Mr.
deep for that
Chalk.
one.
Mr. Chalk.
He dug deep.
Yeah, no, that was a real thinker. No, I mean, who's good right now? Who's good right now other than Scotty? Is Ludwig popping off?
He really blew a fat lead at one of the tournaments recently.
The players, he crumbled on Sunday. He had like a 3-shot lead. Ended up finishing in like 4th or 5th place. That was pretty tough.
How's my boy Max Homa doing?
He's better, but it was a pretty
staying
low bar.
on tour. I mean, he's keeping himself on tour,
That's not the bar,
but he's not contending for wins.
Matt, I know you'll have some good thought out answers for picks here. I'll give out mine real quick. I'm taking Bryson, Jack's boy.
Woo!
He had a good Masters last year and then blew up on Sunday. I think he shot a 75. That's going to be in the back of his head. He's going to want to get back on track. I like the value with Bryson.
Yeah, I think a lot of people do, right? I mean, he was there on Sunday. If you remember how that final round started, I think Rory bogeyed and he birdied, and it went back and forth to where he almost, I think, even had a 2-stroke lead through the first 3 holes and flipped back and forth, and then he just couldn't keep it together. And unbelievable shots in the back 9 to keep himself in it. Then ultimately, I don't know where Justin Rose popped up, and he had to hold him off, went to a playoff, and Rory ultimately ended up getting it done. But I think a lot of people are on DeChambeau this year. I think they think he can pull it all together. He remembers what happened, also mixed in with what his game is. But for me, the live guys are so tricky. There isn't that same pressure. There isn't that same pressure and level of competition. You got to understand, they also only play 3 days, right? The PGA is 4-day tournament. Live Golf, they're only playing 3 days. So I think there's a little bit of a stamina watch with the live guys. You know, sure, they've played 4-day golf tournaments before, but, you know, live golf's been 2 years now, almost 3 years. I mean, it's been a tour that's been going for a little bit. So maybe a little bit of a stamina watch, I'd say. And it's the top golf tournament in the world. So that adds the pressure, obviously. So, but we saw DeChambeau there at the end last year. So I think a lot of people are entertaining that pick. A couple guys I like to win. It's tough to just pick one winner. I know I said it's tricky for the live guys, but somebody who has been pretty lights out on the live tour and kind of has removed himself from the noise for being on live is John Rahm. I know he's a heavy guy. He's second behind Scotty Scheffler in terms of betting numbers. So I think he's been looking really strong. He's playing well leading into the Masters. And we know this is a tournament where you don't even necessarily need to be playing well leading into the Masters. You look at a guy like Justin Rose, we just talked about, playing really, or he doesn't even have to be playing well, and he'll go throw a top 5 finish in the Masters. So it really is a tournament unlike any other, as they say. But some of the other guys I'm looking at that are playing strong. And I guess before I get into it, some of the reasoning behind the picks, shots gained off the tee. The Augusta is one of the longest courses. I think it might be the longest course they play. So it's going to favor guys who strike the ball and go for distance. And these are some of the guys who are leading the tour this year. In strokes gained off the tee, I also tried to take some of the guys who played well at the Players, because that's probably the biggest / toughest / pressure tournament leading up to the Masters. And some of the guys I came up with was Cam Young, who is a U.S. guy, so would like to see him play really well. Matt Fitzpatrick, who played well and is having good off the tee performance. Sleeper, maybe not kind of a sleeper, I guess, but Bobby Mack from Scotland. I mean, that guy's always throwing his name in the mix. Wouldn't be surprised to see if he's able to make something happen. But I love what Cam Young's been doing. Like Cam Young, John Rahm, Matt Fitzpatrick, and then maybe Xander Schauffele, who he's been pretty consistent at Augusta. Those are the 4 names who, if I had $25 each and needed to put it down, I'd, have $100, put 25 each. I would go Cam Young, Schauffele, John Rahm, and Matt Fitzpatrick. But for Masters winners, those are the names I'm looking at. And not to go on a huge rant, but it's the best tournament, man.
Rahm was looking, I saw him play a couple holes. He was looking very casually confident.
That's good.
I think he's ready to
that. Yeah. Ready to stamp his name back into hey, I know I went to the Live Tour, but I know I don't care what the world rankings, golf rankings say. I'm a top player. And this is, the majors are the only shots where they can prove it.
I did place a $10 wager on Minwoo Lee, because I've liked his game so far this year, and he's not as good of a ball striker, but he has been good around the green, and there are a lot of wacky greens at Augusta. So I liked his value just as a
super wacky
shot win.
Super wacky, definitely a long shot win. I mean, you want to talk about pressure. The thing with the Masters and playing at Augusta, and everybody will have long shots and everybody will have this, everybody have that. It's usually a top name that's playing well. So as I think Minwoo Lee has been decent pick and the value's there. I don't know that he's been playing super, super well lately. And I also don't know that he's really established himself yet as one of those top names, which is why I would personally stay away. But again, that's just going based on the trends. Anything can happen.
He had 3 top 12s in his last 6. So it was good enough for me where I was like, well, if there's going to be a long shot, I'm willing to take it, see if he's around on Saturday, Sunday.
And that's what's annoying betting the Masters is there usually isn't a long shot that goes out and wins this tournament. Like, U.S. Open, JJ Spawn, who the hell would have thought of that? Or I'm trying to think of some of the other ones who won the PGA last year. slipping my mind. But either way, there's always it seems like a guy that's been at the top, and Cam Young he feels like he's like right in that prime position. He won the Players. He's upcoming rise. He just came off the Ryder Cup. He's playing well this year. He strikes the ball really, really well. This course is going to favor ball strikers. I just think he's in a really good spot to win this tournament.
I like it. Jack, any long shot for you? You going home?
Dude, where's Jackson Coyvin?
He didn't win the amateur, so he can't play. Very unfortunate. Number 1 ranked amateur, and he's not one of them in the field.
Wow.
He'll be there next year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to
He'll
say.
be my long shot.
He lost the amateur?
Yeah, I forget who he lost to, but
That guy
I think it
was
was someone
just
from FSU.
dominating.
Yeah, he's won 4 out of the last 6 collegiate tournaments.
Yeah, it's a shame that he's not going to be in it. Definitely deserves it. Did I have another like sleepy flyer again? We say that these guys don't win, and this is like super long shot, but just a guy who's been playing, I think, somewhat well and a really good ball striker. It's going to be the guy that by the name of Marco Penge. Maybe don't take him to win the tournament, but you could probably get good plus money value on him to get a top 20 finish. Probably him to make the cut. Probably get some decent value, but I just think with the way this course, again, there's been no rain all week. The greens are playing fast. When the ball comes down off their drive, it's going to favor the guys who smash the ball and hit it with great speed. He's a guy who's been playing well, could be sneaky. He also could absolutely blow up. I think he's debuting at the Masters, so he could completely blow up and miss the cut. But again, I feel like I have to preface it every time I'm giving out picks because people love to kill me when they go wrong. Marco Penge is a massive long shot. I'm saying maybe sprinkle a small 0.25 unit on him to make the top 20. If you're in Masters pools and you got to pick 6 golfers and it's auction based, pick him if you're running low on fumes. He's like like you see in the daily fantasy DFS's, Brian. It's like picking a Corey Brewer at 3,600.
Corey Brewer. Oh, what a guy. I wonder where he's playing now. He's probably retired.
I think he's definitely retired. But all right. I know everybody's hungry. Everybody wants to get off, but it's the Masters. I had to go on my golf rant.
Yeah, and we'll recap the Masters on Tuesday as well as do our NBA and NHL previews. Should be a fun show. But we'll see you guys then.
Let's go.